Hello, today we are going to talk about semantics. Semantics are the part of linguistic science that deal with meanings of words. When I was at university in my home country, my linguistics teacher had this picture pinned to the notice board next to his door. What he wanted to say is that all parts of linguistics, except semantics, have more or less clear rules. With semantics, it's a bit more complicated because the meanings of words and expressions change all the time and sometimes very quickly. In this video lesson, I will talk about the types of meaning, then I will tell you about the so-called shifted meanings, then we will look at the relations between meanings, and finally we will deal with multi-word expressions. First, we'll look at the types of meaning. It is important that you understand these before the lesson. Generally, we have three types of meaning. The first one is the direct meaning, or the first meaning that you will find in a dictionary. For example, in word father, the direct meaning is human, male, and parent. Words like daddy, old man, dad, or papa have the same direct meaning. Then we have the indirect meaning, which is formed by indirect associations or connotations. For example, in word man, the indirect meaning is that he has a beard, he's wearing trousers, he's physically strong, good at driving, bad at cooking, maybe also tall, he has short hair, he might earn more money than women, and so on. And finally, we have the contextual meaning, which is the meaning based on the other words that stand near to the one that we are talking about. For example, in word break, it has different meaning in expressions break a leg, which means to get injured, break news to someone, like disclose news, break down in tears, which means to start crying, break the law, which means to go against the rules, take a break, to rest, break into a house, to rob, or break a record, which means get better results than the one previously considered best. Next, we will talk about shifted meaning. Meaning of a word is shifted when some of the direct meaning is lost, is made weaker, or a new is gained, is made stronger, or when we call something by a nicer or uglier name than it really is, or when we give human qualities to objects and animals. The weaker meanings are called understatement. For example, when someone asks you, how did you do on an exam, and you got the full score, and you don't tell them, I did well, but you say, not bad. The stronger meanings are called hyperboles. For example, when you mess up an exam, and you know your mom is going to be angry, you might say, she's going to kill me. Well, you know she's not actually going to kill you. She's just going to be very angry. Then the nicer meanings are called euphemisms. For example, when someone dies, we don't say he died because it's too crude and direct, but we say he passed away. And finally, the uglier meanings are called vulgarisms. The best known vulgarisms are the swear words, like the F word, but expressions like kick the bucket for dying or knog up for make a baby are also considered vulgarisms. And then we have the type of shifted meaning when we give human qualities to objects or animals, which is called personification. Next, we are going to look at the three basic relations between meanings of words. You have probably heard about all of them before. Synonyms are words with similar or identical meaning, but with a different form. For example, the words sad and unhappy mean more or less the same, but they are written in a different way. Homonyms are words with different meaning, but identical form. The form can be identical either in sound or in spelling. For example, words sad and sad, when the first one means unhappy and the second one is the past tense of say. And antonyms or opposites are words with opposite meaning, such as sad and happy. And finally, we have the multi-word expressions. Multi-word expressions are expressions that are formed by more than one word, and they have a special meaning when standing together. We are going to discuss two types of multi-word expressions, the collocations and the idioms. Collocations are pairs or groups of words that often stand together, but they are not a fixed phrase. The meaning of collocations can be derived from separate meanings of the words that form them. Examples of collocations include expressions like I have never, play a musical instrument, climb a mountain, in the morning, or get up. Idioms are phrases that are fixed and in which it's difficult or even impossible to guess the meaning only from the meanings of the parts. Idioms are, for example, the phrasal verbs, like carry on, the proverbs, like opposites attract, sayings, like the coast is clear, similes, like to be sick like a dog, special expressions like happy birthday, and then there are the true idioms, in which the meaning is completely unrelated to meanings of the parts. That's it for today. Thank you for your attention and see you in class.